Hello boys and girls, and welcome to virtual art class. My name is Mrs. Cobb and I am going to be your art teacher. Today our overall learning objective is going to be that by the end of this lesson you're going to be able to name and draw using different types of lines that we use in art. You're also going to learn about an art technique called Cubism. Let's get started. What we are going to do is learn a very important element of art. Element of art is all about the small pieces that make up a particular art project. So the first element that we are going to learn about is called line. Here's a cute little anchor chart that I made for us to learn our different lines. I'm going to go through and read them. We have diagonal, vertical, wavy, horizontal, curved, zigzag, dotted, dashed, and my favorite, the spiral. Now you're probably asking yourself, oh my gosh, Miss Cobb, how am I going to remember all of these lines? That's true, there's a lot to remember, right? So one of the things that we are going to do, boys and girls, is we're going to practice using our hands, because sometimes when we use our hands, it helps us remember. So together, let's use our hands and you're going to copy and repeat after me. Ready? The first one is diagonal, vertical, curved, zig-zag, wavy, dotted, dashed, horizontal, and spiral. Now, boys and girls, it's time for you to practice what we just learned. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you guys in breakout rooms. When you see the blue button pop up on your screen, you're going to push the button. You're going to go off with your friends, and you guys are going to be practicing your lines using these sentence stems that I'm going to read to you. I'm going to give you an example of what you're going to work on. You're going to say, this line is, and you're going to fill in the blank. So just like this. This line is wavy. Okay? Then you're going to use the second sentence. I know this because, just like this. I know this is wavy because it goes up and down, up and down. Okay, boys and girls? So you are going to go off into your breakout rooms, practice those two sentence stems. Remember, they are, this line is, and I know this is blank because it is blank. And you're going to fill in the blanks. All right, guys, let's go. All right, guys, so welcome back from your breakout rooms. Now I'm going to be calling on a few students to see how you guys responded to the two sentence stems that were provided for you. Now, Elijah, can you tell me what it is that you and your group discussed? Oh, really? Okay. Can you show me the example that you talked about? Good, excellent. That is definitely a diagonal line. And why is that a diagonal line, Elijah? Correct, because it goes at a slant. Good job, buddy. All right, and Sarah, can you tell me what your group talked about? Okay, and you know that this is a wavy line because? Correct, it goes up and down. Good job. Excellent job, guys. Now, before we begin our art project, we are going to learn about an art technique called Cubism. Cubism is the idea of breaking things apart in our mind and drawing with different shapes. Okay, the artist that invented Cubism is called Pablo Picasso. Here's an example of him and a picture of him on my wall. He invented this particular technique where we use shapes, bright colors, and lines to show the different artistic techniques in his pictures. You will see curved lines, vertical lines, shapes like an oval, and bright colors. Now, boys and girls, together we are going to be creating a Picasso puppy using lines that we have learned and the technique of drawing with shapes called Cubism. Now that we have learned this, let's get started. All right, boys and girls, now we are getting ready to draw our cute little Picasso puppies. This is an example of the puppy that we are going to be drawing. And you notice in this picture, boys and girls, that we are using some of those lines that we learned about. Remember those lines we just learned earlier? We see diagonal, curved. Let's compare this to our puppy. I see diagonal right here in his ears. I see curved right here in his head and in the circles. And I see horizontal right here in his collar. I also see this one is curved. In his toes, I see some vertical lines. All right, so let's get started drawing our puppy. The supplies that you guys are going to need is one white standard piece of paper, 8.5 by 11, regular size piece of paper. You are also going to need some colors or crayons or colored pencils that you like to color with. Whatever you have at home is just fine. Okay, we're just going to color it in. You're going to need something to draw with. I am going to use my black marker to start drawing. All right, so the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to take our paper and we are going to do a vertical fold. That means, boys and girls, that our fold line needs to be straight up and down. Remember that vertical line. So take your paper and fold it over, matching your corners, and press down the crease. Then we are going to open it back up, okay? So this gives us two sides of the paper. You're going to draw one puppy on this side and another puppy on this side on your own. So let's get started. First thing that we are going to do, boys and girls, is we're going to draw the basic shape of a circle for his head. Start at the top and go around and draw your circle. The next thing that we are going to do is we're going to draw his ears. So for the triangle, I'm going to draw a diagonal line up, diagonal line down, diagonal line up. Then I'm going to come on this side of his head and draw diagonal line up, diagonal line down, diagonal line back. Okay? Then we are going to take his head and we are going to divide it into sections. That is something that Pablo Picasso was really known for, okay? Using that Cubist technique. So we are going to start at the top of our head and draw a curved line down. And start at the top of the head again and draw another curved line down. And don't worry if your lines are a little crooked, because remember that this does not look like a real puppy. This is Cubism, okay? We are going to start on this side of the head and draw an eye, curved line, and then draw another curved line. Go to the inside of the eye, draw a rainbow, and put a little dot for his eyeball. On this side, we want to use a different eye because Cubism is all about doing different points of view. One side of the face will look one way, the other side of the face will look another way. So this time I'm going to draw a curved line this way and another curved line this way. Put in my rainbow and my dot. Now it looks like my dog is looking in two different directions, giving us that 2-point perspective. Then I'm going to put in an oval shape for my nose. I'm going to draw vertical line down, horizontal line across, that's his neck, vertical line down, horizontal line across. Then we're going to draw his body. Curved line down. Now let's draw his feet. Rainbow, curved line. Look at that. They look like little rainbows, don't they? I love curved lines. Then vertical, and vertical. Now we have our Picasso puppy. So now I want to put in a few more shapes, just like Picasso and Cubism love to do shapes, right? Breaking things apart in shapes and adding shapes to our photo, our picture that we're drawing, I mean. So now we're going to draw a circle, lots of big circles. And now we have a completed picture Picasso puppy, okay? It looks beautiful. So now I'm not going to draw and color in the whole dog, but you guys are going to watch Mrs. Cobb color in a few parts. Make sure that when you are coloring that you are staying in the lines and that every single time you color a piece of your puppy, you are switching out your colors, because Picasso and Cubism is all about using really bright, beautiful colors and using different colors. So I'm going to let you guys finish the coloring part on your own, okay? And you are going to see in your learning module that you are going to be assigned to draw a Picasso puppy all by yourself on this side and submit that into your learning module. You are also going to be required to do the types of lines worksheet that is located in your module as well. Make sure that you complete the worksheet and your Cubism puppy and submit those to Mrs. Cobb. And it's been wonderful learning with you today. Thank you so much, boys and girls, and I'll see you next time. Hello, my name is Mrs. Cobb, and I just delivered a video virtual art lesson over line, the element of art called line, and the art technique of Cubism. So I would like to talk further about changes or things that I would do in addition to the lesson to accommodate all learning styles and the various students that I have in my class. The first thing that I would like to mention is looking through the data that I was given. I noticed that I had 13 out of the 22 students in my class, which is the majority of my class, were rated as not proficient. So what I chose in particular due to that is I chose a very simplified drawing, a very simple drawing with simple shapes and simple lines in order to make sure that my students could master the guided drawing. Now, in a normal virtual situation, in order for me to ensure that my students were staying on task and that they were mastering this level of drawing, I would occasionally have them hold it up to the screen so that I could check for mastery periodically. But due to the time constraints, that's something that wasn't demonstrated in the lesson. I would also want to note that in the module itself, once the students were sent off to do the drawing independently, I would like to have varying levels because I do have multiple levels in my class. So I would post a level 1 drawing for an example so they could do their independent work looking at a sample that they could follow. And then I would also follow that up with a level 2 drawing that they could look at. Once they master this level, then they could go to the more advanced level. So I have varying levels to accommodate every learning style. Also, during the assessment part, I also am going to provide the types of lines worksheet so that I can ensure that they have mastered the content. Now, I do understand that I had a few students that were struggling readers. So what I would like to do is put some type of a voiceover video or a live video of me reading each question to ensure that the students understand what each question is saying so that I can ensure mastery of content. So those are the things that I would do to address all learning style and all needs of my students. Thank you so much.